Well, after spending the whole afternoon packing, we're on the road. We're on our BC trip. I'm excited. This is going to be a great trip. We got a lot of things planned. We're going to try and get to Hinton tonight, so that'll land us in Hinton about 11 o'clock or so. So I think we'll pick up some dinner on the way out. But man, Costco's busy, but cheap gas here. Once we hit busy, it's not cheap gas at all. So yeah, off and running. Thanks for coming on the adventure, everyone. Take her easy.
This trip was going to be filled with a little bit of everything. Some beautiful sights, absolutely stunning. It was also going to be filled with some awesome wildlife. We even got to visit a ghost town. Some of the campsites were absolutely amazing. And on top of that, we managed to do a little bit of trail running as well and meet some really cool people. So we drove out to Edson, met up with Mike and Liz. They were going to join us on this trip. They had never been to the ocean before, so it was going to be a good experience and adventure for everybody. We were going to camp somewhere past Hinton in the Brule area, but because we had gotten out so late, we decided to stop at Obed Lake.
Well, we made it to Obed Lake. So, got the tent all set up, getting ready for sleeping. First night out. This is gonna be great. I can't wait to get to sleep. This is gonna be really, really good. I always sleep good when I'm out in the woods. Have a good night, everyone.
Well, after a super busy week at work, I slept really hard that night. In the morning, I got up and I walked down to the lake. Man, I was met with beauty that just absolutely calmed my heart. It's moments like these that really make it worthwhile. And in the end, I guess, bring you a little bit of peace. Well, it was time to get packed up and get rolling. We had a lot of miles to make. Soon, we were in the mountains. Not only were the mountains absolutely beautiful, but the wildlife that was there, man, that was pretty special. Eventually, we made it to the BC border and Portal Lake.
All right, just crossed the BC Alberta border, and I'm at beautiful Portal Lake. What a gorgeous little spot here. Anyways, we're making our way into the Cariboo here today, so we're gonna burn on through. I think we're gonna stop at Mount Robson next and check it out. It's always beautiful to go look at the mountain tops there. A lot of times when I've gone through, the actual mountaintops were covered in clouds. So hopefully when we go through, you can actually see them. Anyways, Portal Lake, if you guys stop here, it's really serene and beautiful. Good trip so far. Portal Lake walk is a beautiful walk if you guys get an opportunity to check it out. I wish I could walk the whole thing, but we got places to be and people to see.
It's always a pleasure to stop at Mount Robson. Did you know it's the highest point in the Canadian Rockies? Doesn't mean it's the tallest mountain. There's one more mountain that's taller in British Columbia. But this is the highest point in the Canadian Rockies. And you can tell this is a majestic mountain that just towers above everything. Just how tall is that? Well, that's 12,972 feet or 3,954 meters. Either way, it was more than I was going to climb that day. Our next stop would be the ancient forest. It was a ways down the highway, roughly about an hour and 3/4 to 2 hours, depending on how fast you were driving. But the ancient forest is kind of an anomaly, and it is worth a stop if you ever come by.
So the ancient forest is a pretty cool place to visit. This is the only place in the world where trees that normally grow in temperate climates, like the coast, are actually inland. The only place in the world you can find this. This is a pretty cool spot. It's very unique, and it's a really, really cool hike. You can hike all the way up to the top of the ridge, all the way over to the side over there, and back down again. If you can stop, highly recommend it. It is an amazing, amazing spot. Well worth the visit.
As you can see, even though we had a lot of warm weather, the walkways were still plugged with snow. Actually, even more so than what we were expecting. It's a cool little walk though, eh?
I understand why they make the boardwalks.
Yes. You really don't get the scope of how this forest actually makes you feel so small. The trees were super, super tall and super old.
You just don't get the scope of it on video.
It was really hard to capture just how big these ancient western red cedars really were. These trees were thousands of years old, and they looked it. From the ancient forest, we then hit the road, making our way to Prince George. We did stop in Prince George just to gas up at Costco. Price wasn't that bad yet, but hey, we figured we'd take advantage of it. Then from there, we made our way all the way to 10 Mile Lake. That's just north of Quesnel. And we stayed at 10 Mile Lake, where we met up with my wife's sister and her husband. Had a great camp out there. Great visit, and yeah, we had steak dinner. I'm not going to complain whatsoever. What a beautiful day of adventure. Great meal, great friends, get to spend some time with some family. Man, tonight was going to be awesome. Crashing, man, I love sleeping in this rooftop tent. Make sure you like and subscribe. The next episode, we go to a ghost town.